this is Erica King from Crypto Soul, and welcome back to the Erica Show. Today in episode 31, I'm here with Sandeep Nailwal, maybe I pronounced it wrong, co-founder in Polygon. Polygon has emerged as a scaling solution of Ethereum for DeFi platforms, NFT marketplaces, and so forth. It's been explosively growing, and I'm so excited to have Sandeep here. So thank you for coming to the show. Bye.
Thanks. Hi all. Thanks, Erica, for having me here. And I interviewed a very small interview back, I think for crypto, for I think Seoul, Crypto Seoul or something, like back in the day, like 2-3 years back, like a small bite somewhere where some in the Korea event, some big event in Korea, crypto event in Korea. Not with you, but with some of your subordinates or something. So it's been a big circle.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all connected, and I'm sure we met like numerous times before, and we come a long way. So I am thrilled to have you here, and it's so exciting what's going on about you and about Polygon. So we need to start moving. There's so many updates that we need to do. Why don't we begin by doing a short intro of yourself and what you're working on currently, for people who don't know.
Yeah, so I am one of the co-founders at Polygon, and I also come from a technology background, but then at Polygon, my role is more around the business development, marketing, like anything unrelated to tech, like, I am involved in that. So, but yeah, like I have a decent understanding of tech also. So yeah, that's how I work in Polygon. Yeah.
Wow. So you have it all. Basically, you have the tech background and also the operations marketing. Wow, that's perfect. I'm just really curious. It was Matic before, but Polygon is such a strong team. And I wonder how you kind of all came together and, fell into this crypto rabbit hole, because it's been a while, right? I mean, I think you've been in this crypto journey for a while. So can you just briefly explain how you got here and yeah.
Yeah. So back in 2016, I was building my startup called Scope Weaver, and it was not scaling that much, right? It was doing good, but it was not scaling. Mm-hmm. Ironically, I'm in the business of scaling. But yeah, like, I thought that, I want to go into the some high tech space, like where I need to, because I had the programming background. So I thought that, okay, let me go back to artificial intelligence. I started doing that a bit, did not like it that much. Then I, stumbled onto blockchain, because I think 2016 was the, run up to that big peak, peak hype of Bitcoin, right? So I started reading that Mastering Bitcoin book, and then, 3, 4, 5 chapters in, I realized that, oh, this is really big, and this is going to be, this is a revolutionary technology. And then that's the point where I fell into the rabbit hole. And then once you fell in the rabbit hole, Erica, we keep falling,
yes.
keep falling, right? So, and then, there's no going back. And then my fellow co-founder, Jayanti, we used to be active in the Indian crypto community. Mm-hmm. And we used to answer some technical queries of people. And so we both knew that we are both technical. So we used to speak on the sidelines. And Jayanti was working on this Plasma research group, where he built a POC for Plasma, and when he showed me, like, he had kind of done some changes, like having a EVM on the sidechain, where not only like Plasma, you're not doing Plasma only for payments, but you're doing for smart contracts also. And I said that this is something that the world needs, and then from there, like, there was no looking backwards. So we joined hands, and then this was in 2018. We set up Polygon, and then since then, here is the journey is big. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What a journey, right? And I think, like, as you mentioned, you fall into the rabbit hole, just keep going, fall deeper and deeper. And, here we are. I think we've grown so much. And I mean, your team has just, exploded that's the best way I could put it, basically. And I'm sure everyone kind of knows about Polygon by now, but in your own words, how would you introduce Polygon to people who don't know what it is and what problem it's trying to solve? Maybe that's a best way to put it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the simplest thing is that everyone, like in the crypto community, they know that Ethereum is very strong, strong, decentralized and secure, but it's not, like, you can't do too many transactions over there. And the gas fees is really, really high, that, $200, $300, $500 we end up paying for transactions. So a lot of people get priced out. right? Priced out of Ethereum. You simply can't use those DeFi applications. So, what we are working on is all these scaling technologies around Ethereum, where you can have these. So Polygon is essentially like, Polygon means multiple different, like Matic network used to have one plasma solution, but Polygon means different kinds of solutions around Ethereum. And, we give the power back to the developer, where they can choose what kind of execution environment they have. They want to have a standalone chain, they want to have a secured chain, they want to have a shared chain. It's completely up to them. So that's the basic idea of Polygon, that the vision is to scale Ethereum and allow the developers to choose whatever they want to build, and allow the users to use Ethereum in a kind of a cost-effective manner.
That is exactly. Yeah. I think, as you put it, like, it's kind of like you choose your own DIY, you choose your own solution, and you can basically use the same chain, but then you can kind of scale it up to whatever, it fits you, basically. And I think that's what attracts other users, because it's very flexible, right? And I think you mentioned
the first part is development. It attracts developers. Once developers come in, they build nice applications, then users also come in. And that's what is happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is it possible to kind of break down like core elements that constitute a Polygon network, that you can kind of maybe split into some pieces that people can understand better, like how it works, basically, maybe like a run through? Is that possible?
Yeah. So on the core of Polygon, you have the Ethereum layer, right?
Yes.
And then you have these bridges connecting with various different chains. So, and then with those chains, you have their validator network, which validate. Then you have the block producers who produce the blocks, and then people validate. And then they also put checkpoint back to Ethereum. Like the current commit chain works like that. Then if you are using standalone chain, it's a purely standalone chain. It simply has a bridge, and you can deposit your assets to the chain and bring them back and all that. So standalone chain. And then similarly, because I told you that it's a multiple solution network. So we will also have, let's say, optimistic rollups in coming times, or ZK rollups, where, everything goes back to Ethereum, like all the transactions are submitted onto Ethereum. So, these different solutions constitute Polygon, and within, then we can deep dive into each of these solutions, that how they work. But on a higher level, think of it like Ethereum, all these solutions around it, and, imagine, it as a hub and spoke, kind of thing.
Yes,
everything connected.
Exactly. So connecting together and in a flexible manner, I guess, but in a very tight network. And so it's kind of like both of both worlds, I think. And I think there was some kind of debate, but it's kind of like a discussion on Twitter, like, is it classified as a sidechain or a layer 2 solution? I think there was a lot of, back and forth on that. What's your take on that?
Oh, no, it's right. Like, Polygon, that the problem is that people try to categorize Polygon as one type of solution, right? So, but as I said, that Polygon has multiple solutions. Polygon will have pure layer 2, which is optimistic rollup. Polygon has layer 2.5, right? Which is the current commit chain. You can call it layer 2.5 or side chain or POS chain. We call it commit chain because it commits back to Ethereum. But we will have the Polygon SDK that we have launched. It has pure side chains. You can launch your pure sidechain, which is not connected to Ethereum. It just has a bridge, right? And then we are going to have, solutions like ZK rollup and optimistic rollup, which are very tightly connected to Ethereum. So it's wrong to kind of paint Polygon in one picture, that whether it's a sidechain or, the Polygon commit chain, you can talk about it. Polygon optimistic rollup, you can talk about it. Polygon SDK, you can talk about it, whether it's a layer 2 or not. But like larger level, Polygon is an aggregator, right? So it aggregates layer 2, side chain, standalone chain, everything together. That's why that debate is yeah.
I think people find it difficult to define, right, and to categorize it, because it's like, as you said, it's an aggregator, means it's kind of putting it all together, but like it's really hard to classify anything. So I think you had a very good point. And I mean, is there a reason why Polygon decided to have this aggregator? Because, because of like some limitations of layer 2 solutions or anything like that? Can you explain more on that reason?
Yes. So we started as I said that, we started as plasma solution, right? And we realized that in Ethereum community, Ethereum community also within Ethereum scaling moves from hype to hype, right? So it was state channels, then Plasma, then optimistic rollup, ZK rollup, Starkware, like the hype keeps moving, right?
Yes.
So, and we wanted to build a long-term ecosystem, long-term community. What we realize is that today it's optimistic rollup. In 6 months, there will be something else, right? So, we wanted to move away from that, and we wanted to say that we are going to build a system for Ethereum, like a unified system for Ethereum, which allows all of these different kind of solutions to work together and connect back to Ethereum. That is why we created this poly kind of aggregator kind of structure.
Is that the reason why you decided to rebrand from Matic to Polygon? Because I found that story very fascinating, because like Polygon, I mean, can you explain a little bit more on the backstory behind like how you rebranded it? And it was a very big move, right? And I was very curious about the story that it implies and what it symbolizes, basically.
Yeah. So the main reason, as you rightly said, the main reason is the technical reason. It's not like we simply did a rebrand. We actually expanded. We expanded from one type of solution to multiple solutions, and it needed to reflect in our brand. For example, Matic network, you don't get much out of that brand. Like what exactly is does. Like now that you know that, okay, Polygon is a scaling solution, then it means Polygon, like multiple kinds of solutions. So you get some idea around it, right? And it's more, we also see ourselves as like one of the biggest players in this space, let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and the brand should reflect our vision for this thing. So that was the reason where we wanted to kind of say that, and also like just to make people aware that this is a big shift from Matic network being one kind of solution to a larger solution where there are multiple things, right? So we wanted to make that also very clear, that this is not like we are launching one extra product with it. No, we are launching a full suite of solutions.
So poly, it's kind of, I guess it means numerous. I don't know, maybe I'm defining it wrong, but like I felt like that was what you expected of like people who don't know, and then you hear about the name and you're like, oh, okay. I assume that it is kind of like, it's trying to imply that reasoning and that, I guess, symbol implication. So yeah, thank you for that explanation. And there's native token. It's still, the name is still Matic, M-A-T-A-C. Is it? Is it going to be still like the same name? Like how is it used? Can you explain briefly like how that is played into this whole network?
Yeah, so Matic token is a pure staking token. You can stake Matic token and then become a validator in any of these chains, right? So that's the primary purpose of that token. And then, we recently changed the name, and Matic network token is already used within this network, which is used by so many applications and all that. So we did not, like till now, we have not found enough demand that we should change the name from Matic to Polygon of this token. But that is again a consideration. Eventually, we might move into a larger, very well thought of like governance and kind of model. So maybe we can change the brand. So yeah, for the token. For now, it remains.
I see. Thank
Matic
you.
is also popular token. Like that way, Matic is also pretty popular in terms of the token, right? A lot of people know about Matic. So it's hard to phase it out also.
It's already ingrained in their heads, right? It's basically, it's already solidified its position. So I would guess it's hard to change anything so big, right? So yeah, it's interesting how that story goes. I mean, usually I think branding is a huge, tricky issue. So I totally understand the whole story, but it's I really love the rebranding story though. There were so many partnerships and collaboration news that I couldn't really follow up, to be honest. There were so many. I was just following on Twitter and just like threads and threads of there's so many, and I saw the ecosystem.
Erika, even we can't keep up with it. Like even I like this, like our team is like so amazing. And then everybody is like constantly, working around and all that. So
exactly,
and, try to have a very cool atmosphere also internally, and everybody is like encouraged to do a lot at their end.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a team called PlayDap They have a game, NFT game, and I just saw that, I'm, they're team based in Korea, so I just had some, look into it, and for basically if there's like a news like that come out, there's like Polygon and there's like PlayDap, like collaboration together, and they're building on, they're using Matic network, Polygon network, and what does that mean in specific, like for that team and using the Polygon network in specific?
Yeah, it's very simple. So previously they were minting their NFTs and their ERC20 was on Ethereum. Now they are deploying it on the Polygon chain. Their NFTs will be created on Polygon. Their ERC20s will be creating on Polygon, and their users can now use non-custodial services like with their own wallets like MetaMask and all that, and own their app. Like otherwise, if you were doing on Ethereum, what you had to do as a game, you only settle the NFTs on this, but otherwise everything is in the game. Only when somebody is depositing and withdrawing like an exchange, right? But now with this scalability available, these low cost transaction available, you can actually people can do the transactions from their wallets, right? And then people are also using meta transactions. With meta transactions, you don't even need to pay gas, so they don't need to buy Matic. Simply come here and then use it from your own wallet.
So that's probably why games find it very, NFT games, they find it very easier, to use Polygon. I think it's more convenient, it's cost effective, right? And many things. In your personal opinion, through all this like huge ecosystem math, basically, what are some of the reasons that may have resulted in this thriving ecosystem? I'm sure there's many factors, but like, it's too big to ignore, basically. What do you, in your because you see a lot of things, and I just wonder, like, what do you think really contributed to this thriving ecosystem?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that have been is the first that we are Ethereum first, right? So Ethereum first means we focus our complete dedication is to build Ethereum into the and we truly believe that Ethereum is going to be the fundamental settlement layer. And so we have always kept very, very close, like our solutions have been very, very close to Ethereum. So if you are a developer on Ethereum, you don't need to do much to understand how to build on Polygon. We even used to say, if you are an Ethereum developer, you are already a Polygon developer. You don't need to learn anything. Right? So that makes it easy for the developers to onboard first. Second thing is we also help our ecosystem a lot. You won't imagine that I am personally connected in all those groups, and any of the problem that happens, they simply add me and Sandeep tag me that Sandeep is not happening, and I personally go and resolve their issue. So this is also about having those personal relationships. Our team has personal relationships with many of the ecosystem players, and then now the network effects are kicking in. So we have built this network, the base of this network brick by brick ourselves. I personally have built those things, and now that network effect is coming in our favor in a big way.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. I think the network effect is definitely happening, and now you can't even keep track, which it really proves that it is a network effect without your own will. Basically, I think good networks, they it just the people tend to follow, and it's a natural movement. Speaking of the Ethereum focus that you mentioned before, you mentioned in a tweet that there's a flip happening already from BTC to ETH, and that was a very fun tweet. I had to just mention this. Just can you explain in which what signs do you see to support this argument? Of course, we can see it pretty much everywhere, but in your view, because you've seen Ethereum grow, the ecosystem grow a lot, and what have you seen that really kind of triggered this, flippening or change in network? And just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I think on the fundamental level, Ethereum is basically has actual utility. Like for Bitcoin, for example, we always keep saying that there is a scarcity of Bitcoin, and it's in the value is in the mind of the holders and whatnot, which might be true. It's a store of value and all that. We I don't know, but then I am focused on Ethereum, and Ethereum you see has fundamental value. So you have to pay that ETH that you pay for buying the bandwidth in this decentralized network, right? So ETH has an actual use. Like the way, like if you will talk to, I'm pretty sure if somebody explains to Warren Buffett, he will realize that, okay, Ethereum, he has been very anti cryptocurrency, right?
Yes, yes.
But if he sees Ethereum, he knows that, okay, Ethereum is kind of like, he says that, okay, for example, land produces something you can live in now, so it has some value, right? Same case with Ethereum. It provides you, and with each token, you can actually pay to kind of access this global computer, which is very decentralized, very secure. So it has, native value. Then, since it's a native token, all this like billions and billions and now approaching almost $1 trillion, DeFi market is built where this ETH is the native asset to, kind of in the pools and whatnot, right? So it also already is becoming a asset which is sort of like, which has a real value and it has a lot of demand, which is logged into the supply. So it always has a certain amount of supply demand, balance also in favor of it. And then, of course, like, on top of Ethereum, this global computer, we are seeing one product market fit after another. So 2017 was ICO was a product market fit. Fundraising was a product market fit.
Yep.
Then today we have DeFi which is a product market fit. NFT is a product market fit. DAOs are product market fit. So these things are coming and they will keep coming, right? With Ethereum, they will keep coming. With solutions like Polygon, I will not be surprised somebody will end up building a identity platform on layer 2 Ethereum, right? So there will be such things and they will keep coming.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fundamental value. I believe it's a fundamental value. And eventually, like, yesterday or one day back, I think some investor also said that Ethereum, like he's going to get into crypto and he will get into Ethereum instead of BTC. And I'm seeing this as a lot of, a lot of people, doing it. All my developer friends who are just now getting into blockchain, they all, understand Ethereum more and want to get into Ethereum instead of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are entering now, they look into a lot of more Ethereum than Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is definitely, it's been there for a while, but I think Ethereum is definitely like the one that's people like want to really involve in, I guess, and invest in. I don't know. There's been some trend recently, so I'm very interested to see what's going to happen next. But it's very blossoming, as I can see everywhere, so which is very exciting. I mean, I think when something that really explodes in terms of a good way, ecosystem explodes, there are some concerns that come out, right? And I think, one of those concerns that came out on Twitter, it was like kind of everywhere. So I had to ask you this question, right? There was security issues that just kind of came out amongst the DeFi, community members. Some of them had a public letter or something. And I want to ask your opinion on this, on that. And like, I think maybe if those security issues in DeFi in general, it's been happening in this space for recently. And what's your take on this? And like, if you have a general opinion on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, no. So I mean, that's the beauty of the open Ethereum community. Like anybody can ask questions, right? And those questions, like, I mean, multiple big, thinkers in the space have mentioned about progressive decentralization. So, like when we created this layer 2, there is like this, Ethereum scaling platform, because I don't want to call layer 2 again. Somebody will say, oh, don't call it like whatever. There is a bridge which takes the money in a decentralized form to the layer, to the second layer and brings it back to the Ethereum, right? So in a decentralized way, there are solutions which do it in a custodial way, but we do it in a fully decentralized way, right? And this is the first ever implementation like that, right? Before, like this optimistic rollup, ZK rollups are just coming. So it would be very, kind of somebody, if they are assuming, I would simply say they have not built anything. They have not built any software in their lives. So on day 0, if we let's say that, okay, everything is open, everything go, and then, people might lose money. So right now we have those multi-sigs which can, if there is, let's say, a bug exposed or something like that, they have, some powers to kind of, upgrade few things, upgrade contracts, and, kind of keep putting the updates into the system. But eventually, maybe in 6 to 12 months, when the system becomes battle tested enough, we can simply hand it over to the community and governance. That, okay, now the governance decides if there is an upgrade that needs to go. And I think that has been the same thing with all the networks. Like even Ethereum, when initially it was in growing spores, we all know that there was a hard fork because there was a big issue and all that. So those things are there. It will happen. So these guys, like, some of the guys just want that attention. right now because it's the hottest thing in the town right now. So it's, but we have like 8-9 people in the multi-sig added. We'll keep adding more people, like 10-15 people, reputed people, for those smart contract updates and all that. So it's fairly secure in that sense.
Thank you. I think the road to 100% decentralization is definitely technically challenging, but it just takes some time, I think, to achieve that ideal. Yeah, it's just I think a lot of projects go through that, as you mentioned before, and I think it's going in the right direction for sure. So thank you for addressing that. Thank you so much.
That's our goal. That's our goal. Like eventually, this has to be fully decentralized. Like if you see our early mentions that our goal has been to build a decentralized Ethereum scaling. It's not like centralized, like we are running those servers. Otherwise, somebody can run the servers, right?
Absolutely. Thank you. Let's talk about some milestones that are coming up. It's almost the first half of 2021 is over. So anything exciting things that are happening on the team side or ecosystem side, can you share with us? I mean, still many things are going on, but still, if there's anything that we can expect, that'd be great.
Yes. So yesterday only we launched our Polygon SDK, and then like as we say, poly, like you mentioned, like poly means multiple things. So it will keep having these multiple mainnets. So today, like Polygon SDK is there. Then we are launching data availability layers. We are launching optimistic rollups, ZK rollups, shared security chain. So the whole next year is jam packed for us in various different technical capacities, and we'll keep coming out with new solutions, like because it's a big umbrella solution, right? So
absolutely. Wow. I mean, how do you plan to further grow and expand your ecosystem? Because I mean, it's already pretty big, but like, is there anything that you're focusing on particularly, like for example, a developer community or student community? I mean, is there any region that you're focusing on? Just curious about that as well.
Yeah. So we actually onboarded a Korean-born team as the CMO, like our global CMO, Korean now. Yes, Min Kim.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So I mean, kudos to Korean community also. So we onboarded her as a global CMO. And then, so we have all these regions in focus. We are, going to expand our developer community in Korea, in China, India, and she's, I think, US citizen. So, in the US, so we, on the developer side, we are expanding pretty aggressively. On the adoption side, like I think DeFi, we have like a lot of projects of DeFi are on Polygon. Eventually, we are already the biggest platform in terms of NFTs, in terms of third-party NFTs. Like people know Dapper or Flow because of CryptoKitties and NBA Top Shot. But then those are applications built by them. If you think about how many third-party developers are building on top of it, we are the biggest platform in that sense. And we now want to engage more into the brand side, like onboarding more brands and onboarding more this thing. So on the business side, the way I said that Polygon SDK, Polygon data availability, all these things are coming in. Similarly, on the business side, Polygon Studios thing is coming up, and which will be into gaming, specialize into NFT, and a lot of different things that are coming up.
Great. Thank you so much for the update. I mean, already it's been exciting, but it's going to be more exciting in the second half of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we should have an update later in the year. One thing that I wanted to just ask you personally, because you're the founder of Crypto Relief, a community-run fund to work together to help India during COVID. It's been a tremendous effort on your side as well as the community side, and I was really impressed by how you were spearheading this, and kudos to you for doing this. And what are the recent updates for this fund? Because I've been very curious. I mean, India is suffering a lot with COVID. Can you share any of your insights, like what you felt through this whole process? Because you must have felt a lot of, I guess, gratitude as well as a lot of things on your end.
Yes. So it has been a long journey, and then it's great to have received such support from the global crypto community, especially Vitalik and our Balaji and all that. Like they helped a lot, and then like money wise, we have got like ample amount of money. I think on the volunteer side, we have now 2,000, like almost approaching 2,000 plus group on Discord, which has like, I think 50 plus volunteers, which are like working actively on this. Wow. And all these are pure volunteers. They are working day in, day out for this relief efforts.
Oh my goodness.
Very passionate, volunteers, and then they have been able to make a lot of impact on the ground. And now with this much money, we are also, previously we were more of a reactionary, relief effort, but now we are thinking towards the longer term things also, like, maybe having some institutes, opening up hospitals, research institutes, specialty centers and things like that, because, now the fund is like $200-300 million. Like,
wow. Really... Holy cow. Wow. It's a movement.
It's a movement. Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. What a change. I mean, really, I think the crypto community really came together through this whole, initiative. And I was in awe. I think this is what we could do. I think you said in your message, in your Twitter message, that we really can do this like in a very efficient way, right? Per se, I think crypto community has been moving really fast, and I think like in this time, I think it's really necessary to move quickly and efficiently. So that was the critical thing that we need to achieve. But yeah, this was monumental.
Yes, it was really great, and hopefully we keep doing good work on that.
Thank you so much. Last question. And it's been a long journey for you, but I'm sure as you mentioned in your milestones, Polygon has so much to go. What's your ultimate vision for Polygon? It's a grand question, I know, but I think I'm very curious about the grand vision that you have for the ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah. So we want, like as I said, that we want to be the one of the significant Ethereum scaling solutions, and then overall on the market, we I generally say that if you talk about in terms of our impact, so this also relates into our market cap. So maybe my goal is that I want to see someday Polygon as number 3, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Polygon.
Wow. So, wow.
Big goal. But yeah,
why not? Why not? Yeah, who knows? Like seriously. Going up. So, wow.
Going up, but yeah, like price, like I'm talking like 2-3 years vision, right? Like who knows? By that time, like we keep working hard, keep doing good work for the community. Who knows, like, where it will go. Yeah.
Thank you for the ambitious vision, but I'm sure that you can definitely pull it off because your team is doing amazing. And thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you in person. And yeah, thank you so much.